Hi, business owners. Phase 3. Woohoo! But do your customers know you're back? Well, that's where the Clarence Bug Show and Pelican Broadcasting can help. Right now, we've got great rates on advertising packages to help you get the word out. Shoot me an email at bugsclarence@gmail.com. Or better yet, call me up. I'd love to talk with you. 225-485-6839. Let's get together and make Phase 3 the best it can possibly be.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La CONTEA takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La CONTEA, your Italian dining will change forever.
They said I could find you here. Why are you fishing? Our company's got to ship out 2 full color brochures and 20 color copies. You're killing me.
It's done. Designed, printed, packaged, and shipped.
How?
You just got to know the right people. Baker Printing, the printing people.
How come you get to fish in this private lake?
Like I said, you just got to know the right people. You can know the right people too.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Hello and welcome as we start another week of the Clarence Bug Show. Here's hoping all is well with you and yours in this absolutely looking day out of doors, and there is a reason why. We are under a severe weather risk today. That includes a risk for localized flooding. There are also some early indications that shower and storm activity can be expected to move in through South Louisiana ahead of a cold front. If you've been out of doors today and it's not your first rodeo, you know full well if there's a cold front coming through and it's this muggy, hot, and humid as we speak, when those two air masses, cold air and warm air, collide, we have the potential for some pretty nasty weather to occur. It is a distinct possibility that we will be entertaining damaging winds, large hail, heavy downpours, and possibly a tornado or two. So best word to the wise today, obviously, take your rain gear wherever your appointed rounds call for you to be today. And for God's sake, make sure that your mobile devices are all fully charged, your weather apps are working the way they should, and hopefully, when all is said and done, you will get through this none the worse for wear. This past weekend here in the capital city, or at least I should have said the capital region, is one that I wished would not have happened. You've heard me say before, God knows how many times, that the African American community is suffering through a spate of homicides that are probably unprecedented in our country's history. And when you are dealing with the segment of the population where those who continue the population, the quote, baby makers, the ages 15 to 39, when you lose individuals in that category, it's particularly hard to stomach. That is, on its best day, something that is truly, truly horrific. But when you add to that the fact that it's individuals on the low end of the age scale and individuals that are doing something with their lives as young as they are, when they're taken away, it's particularly egregious. Of course, you've probably figured out by now that we're talking about Derek, and I hope I don't butcher his last name too badly, Cavazos, C-A-V-A-Z-O-S, a 35-year-old adjunct professor at Southern University. By all accounts, the students there absolutely loved this young man. And I guess it's just a part of the human experience. We as individuals relate more readily to individuals that look like us, sound like us, and can relate to our life experiences. At 35 years of age, it's a whole lot easier for a professor to connect with students than it is for old farts like Marty and myself. You know, that is simply the reality of the day. Murdered during a home invasion / domestic violence incident, and it is a case that fortunately an arrest has already been made, but unfortunately it is yet another promising young black life that has been snuffed out by yet another young black person. It is part of a very ugly and continuing trend that we see all across this country. And yet, the media and the politicians all scream incessantly only about racism. It is a sad reality that at this juncture, we, the African American community, have yet to come to terms with a self-inflicted genocide when 40% of young black men ages 15 to 39, 40% are dying from homicide, and the media sits quietly by. That should tell you all you need to know. Later in the show, I want to talk about the folks in Chicago and what's going on there. We're only 4 months into the year, and over 1,000 people have been shot in Chicago, the overwhelming majority of whom are people of color. And Chicago, in just 4 months, is closing in on 200 homicides in 4 months. You know how you can tell there were no white people involved and no police involved? You know how you can tell? Here's the bellwether. There were no riots, no looting, no burning. But that 195 lost souls are just as dead. Now, I don't know about you, but in a city like Chicago, where Democrats have been in charge forever, I would want some answers. I would demand some answers. But as long as the media and the politicians can play the shell game of, oh, racism, look over here. As long as they can play the shell game of, oh, look over here, racism. As long as they can hoodwink, snooker, and bamboozle you into looking everywhere other than right at home, the blood will continue flowing in the streets of America, and the powers that be, English teachers, and if you got kids in the room, turn it down in 3, 2, 1, ain't a damn thing gonna change. At least not until we demand better. Listen, y'all, when 15-year-old girls are murdered in freaking Port Allen, 15-year-olds. We didn't have the time last week to talk about the 3-year-old, that darling black child, in the car with her dad at a freaking drive-through at McDonald's and murdered. We didn't have time to talk about the 7-year-old, victim of a freaking drive-by. And yet, oh, racism, oh, racism, oh, racism. You see how they play you? At the end of the day, ask, and this is rhetorical, obviously, ask any of the 195 homicide victims in the city of Chicago in just 4 months. Ask them if their death is just as egregious as any other. Ask their families if they are mourning as much as any other. We already know the answer. We already know. The only question that remains to be posed is, why the hell aren't we demanding better? Of course, now, I guess in hindsight, I have to understand it's convenient. It's easy to sit on your you-know-what on the couch, remote in hand, punching buttons and saying, oh my God, look at the racism. To change things, you got to get off your you-know-what and get in your community and make a difference. Yes, just like any other occupation on planet Earth, there are individuals out there that don't deserve to work in that profession. But if you truly want to make a difference, here's the way you go about it. Not rioting, not looting, not burning, not accusing blanketly an entire race of being racists. Here's how you fix it. Get off your you-know-what, go to school, get your degree in criminal justice, and become a law enforcement officer. Serve your community. I mean, after all, everybody's got an opinion on what they should do, what they shouldn't do, how much money they should get, how much money should be defunded. Everybody knows everything that there is to know about law enforcement, despite the fact that on your best day, you don't have the fortitude to get out and do what they do, not to mention the fact that you're underpaid, outgunned, and underappreciated. You want to make a difference, get off it and get out there and help. Otherwise, please do us all a favor and just shut the hell up. I had to get that off my chest. Thank you for bearing with me, Marty. First break. of today's show. It is Tuesday, and of course, you know what that means. Coming up next, time for another edition of Now That's Just Stupid. Up next on the Clarence Bug Show. Sit tight.
I owed the IRS $10,000.
The IRS garnished my wages.
They put a lien on my house.
I'm self-employed and didn't report all my income. They claim I owe a lot more than I do.
The IRS is the most powerful collection agency in the world. They do not give up until you pay.
I couldn't sleep. We were being audited. I called Tax Solutions Now, and a great big weight was lifted off my shoulders.
I called Tax Solutions Now, and they got the IRS off my back.
Tax Solutions Now had my wage garnishment lifted in 48 hours.
Tax Solutions Now can get you help. Our agents know the rules, can stop the pain, and get you the best deal.
Tax Solutions Now saved my business.
I qualified for the Fresh Start program. I paid less than I owed.
We connect you with a team of former IRS agents and tax professionals who get the IRS off your back. Time is running out. Call Tax Solutions now.
Call 800-778-4345. 800-778-4345.
Live and play on the fairway at Greystone Golf and Country Club, a serene, challenging golf destination located in Denham Springs. For tee times and membership opportunities, go to GreystoneCountryClub.com.
Hi, I'm Hurricane Betsy Barnes.
And I'm Dr. Kay Siller with the Rocket Right Show.
We are two busy blondes on the go showing off life in Louisiana.
Watch us on Pelican Sports Network.
And Talk 107.3 FM. Check local listings for times.
The first big sale of the year is here. The Dream Garage Spring Event is underway at Team Honda. For the first time ever, get $12.50 customer cash on every new 21 Passport, or get 0% for 60 months on every new 21 Pilot at Louisiana's #1 Honda dealer, Team Honda.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with MANDA Fine Meats. Here at MANDA, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. MANDA Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. MANDA Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it MANDA every time.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. If you are new to the show, new to the station, new to the area, in response to this rapidly increasing, rapidly elevating level of stupidity in our country, and maybe, you know, in retrospect, maybe it's at least God, I'm hoping it is. Maybe it's more attributable to the 24-hour news cycle and the fact that we can access pretty much anything information-wise from anywhere at any time. Meaning, maybe we've always been this stupid. We simply didn't know about it. You follow me? There used to be a time when we were just plain stupid. Stupid. That's this level of stupid. But it seems like in recent memory, just when you thought we couldn't get any more stupid, just keep breathing, y'all. And you will find that you're going to encounter an entirely different level of stupid, which is why we spell this one STOOPID. Now that's just stupid. We start right here in the state that I love so dearly. Lake Arthur. Bill, Lake Arthur is where? Isn't that heading west on 10 and down around Jennings?
It's right on the border with Texas, south of Jennings, just
Okay, got it. 34-year-old Cody Wade Moore arrested after police obtained surveillance camera footage of a scene at Lake Arthur High School. The footage shows a guy wearing a red shirt, khaki pants, and, wait for it, a Santa Claus hat as he steals a school bus from Lake Arthur High School. Later on, they see a guy in Opelousas wearing clothes that fit the description. Lo and behold, I know there's the new math, but 1 + 1 is still 2. Now, according to police, Mr. Moore was booked on a slew of charges, including burglary, theft of a motor vehicle, and contempt of court. What is shocking to me is that there's no DUI involved. I mean, typically, and this is no negative dispersion on anyone that does not fit this criteria, but anyone that I know that wanted to steal a school bus and felt compelled to wear a Santa hat while doing it, anybody I know, that's just too much work. I mean, you got to either go in the attic, dig out the box, find the one with all that just says Xmas, DECS, Christmas decorations. You got to dig through all of these boxes of lights and garland and wreaths and so on and so forth to find the Santa hat, either in the attic or way in the back of the closet. Unless, of course, you still have the Santa Claus hat hanging around in your living room 4 months and change after Christmas. My friends, just when you thought it couldn't get any more stupid, along comes Louisiana guy. As we get past COVID-19, more and more people getting vaccinated and the like, it's interesting to see how we are attempting to come to terms with the loosening of regulations and the like. Well, recently, after the airlines decided, okay, it's safe for us to start resuming travel, there were all sorts of addendums and additions made to what you have to do in order to fly. Well, there is, for those of you that don't know, a new prohibition, and Bill, help me out. Is this brand new where in flying you have to be masked up even in between bites of food? If you're eating, take a bite, pull the mask down, take a bite, put it back up, chew, take it back down, the whole nine. Jump in.
All right, you've had to mask up on flights since a year and a month ago, okay? In terms of food service, there isn't much food service left on airline flights.
To begin with.
Because of the potential for germs and all that with the caterer bringing it and all that and heating it.
Right.
But no, you don't have to have your mask on between bites. They ask you to take your mask down, go ahead and finish your snack or whatever and put it back up.
Right.
But yeah, you have to be masked on the airplanes.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's just like in places that serve food now.
Right.
It's basically the same thing.
Of course, now this was Southwest Airlines, so maybe that explains.
What do you got to eat on Southwest Airlines?
Well, lo and behold, and I'm glad you asked that question, guy brings some Twizzlers liquors.
Oh,
the red
he rolled
liquors.
his own.
Right. He's rolling his own. I'm going to use that.
It is the bus with wings.
Pat yourself on the back. You know I stole that one from you.
Mm-hmm.
And the flight attendant notices that he is eating Twizzlers, but he didn't put the mask back up. Ultimately, long story short, they gave dude the boot. You got to go.
Now, I will tell you, because I've seen this.
Okay.
I've seen this where people, for example, will order a drink in a casino.
Mm-hmm.
And from the time they order it, they take their mask down.
Right. I'm drinking.
And and
when
it
the mask
comes,
police come.
and
right.
they take a drink and they sit it down for half an hour. And, Southwest is a lot of things, but none of their people are dumb.
Right.
So this guy was probably trying to milk the system with his Twizzlers.
May well have been, because if you think about it, the article didn't say what size package of Twizzlers.
Exactly.
So you could nibble on that puppy all the way from L.A. to New York.
Exactly.
And never have to put the mask back up.
It never ceases to amaze me the lengths people will go to get themselves thrown off of airplanes.
Now, that being said, would it not make more sense when you are instructing me on the proper use of masks falling from the ceiling in the case of depressurization of the cabin, a flotation device that I'm sitting on, would it not just be more prudent to make sure you say all of that then?
I think it would be. I will tell you the truth. I have not been on an airplane since February of 2020.
Okay.
This is the longest time I've ever gone my adult life.
I'm sure.
Without having made a flight. So I don't know what kind of announcements they're making now.
Right. Well, in the interest of them simply covering their own you-know-what, it seems as though that will be the first thing you do. That way, you cut the legs off of any argument whatsoever.
Well, they have incidents on every major airline.
Of course.
They have them on Delta. They have them on. They have them on American. They have them on United.
Right.
Spirit and Southwest, they seem to have a little above the average, and it's a little different culture.
Oh yeah, well, you think?
If I'm a Southwest flight attendant and I know my normal passengers, my normal type of passengers,
right.
If I let this guy eat his Twizzlers, chances are better than even that somebody 4 rows back is going to jump up and say, "Hey!"
Right. Yeah.
I mean, it's the bus with wings. It really is.
So, barring making the announcement as we are taxiing to the runway, don't you kind of leave the door open for this guy to pursue some sort of litigation there?
Nah.
If that's his aim?
You know what the thing is, and this is way before COVID. This goes back to 9/11.
Okay.
There is a federal air regulation that is actually a law that is called disregarding flight crew instructions.
Right.
So even if they don't tell you as you're taxiing out, if they say, "Sir, you have to have that mask on until you start eating again,"
right?
Because I've seen a period where you're not.
If you don't, you are disregarding. Yeah.
So that's the catch-all.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I have a good friend who is a 28-year flight attendant with Delta.
Mm-hmm.
And she said most people are very cooperative, but you always have the ones that want to try to test you.
Yeah. Yeah, and such is the case with anything else,
And by the way,
I guess,
she
in
has
life.
flown her normal schedule since the beginning of all this.
Really?
Yeah, she is not one of those who opted to stay home. A lot of flight attendants said, "No, I don't want to risk it."
Right.
So she has flown a great deal, and she said most people are pretty darn cooperative.
Interesting.
On Delta.
Interesting. All right, bottom of the hour break. As always, thank you for your expertise and your kindness, Mr. Profita. Bottom of the hour break. When we come back, you want to hear an example of real racism? You're going to love this one. That's up next on today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, here and only here on the Pelican. Stay close.
Got termites? Get Premier Pest. PremierPestServices.com.
Hi, I am Dr. Farrell Frugier Jr., and I am a general dentist at Frugier Family Dentistry. I was born and raised in Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I went to Catholic High School, LSU, and LSU School of Dentistry in New Orleans, where I received my DDS degree in 1986. I always have and will continue to be committed to continuing my education, to invest in technology which makes the diagnosis and delivery of dentistry more thorough, more comfortable, and more aesthetically pleasing. In our practice, we are here to serve the patients. We want to improve their quality of life and to develop relationships with our patients. In dentistry, we have a chance to impact lives on a daily basis, not just by doing dentistry, but by getting to know them and being a part of their life. We also believe in giving back to our community. So every year, we give back to the Greater Baton Rouge Food Bank, Toys for Tots, and Mary Bird Perkins Cancer Center. Please stop by and visit our office. We would love to take care of you and your family.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent. Depend on us for service, for selection, for price. Get huge Whirlpool savings. Shop now and save on Whirlpool appliances throughout the store. Plus, experience our price match guarantee and ask about special financing.
You can depend on the know-how of people who live appliances every day.
Bolello's Furniture and Appliances, your dependable independent with nationwide buying power.
Hello guys, it's Debbie. It's time. I've got a brand new location. 10510 Airline Highway, Baton Rouge, next to After 5 Tuxedos. We have the perfect spot to get all your wedding and formal wear needs. Come see our one-of-a-kind name brand and get great prices. With 30 years experience, the best customer service anywhere. It's Debbie's Bridal, Airline Highway, Baton Rouge. See you soon.
Caught spiders? Premier Pest Services.
Welcome back to today's edition of the Clarence Bug Show. You know, one of the things that is most disheartening to me as an American is how in 2021 we still struggle with issues of race. And it becomes more and more apparent with every passing day. By and large, the main reason we are unable to come to grips with the problem of racism in this country is that there are those out there that benefit from the institution of racism. There are those out there with a vested interest in keeping us separate and apart, keeping us at each other's throats, and keeping us in constant fear of one another. Recently, I told you the night after, actually the morning after, President Biden's address to Congress. I told you if you did not see the rebuttal from South Carolina Senator Tim Scott, you were truly missing a treat. This brother is articulate, intelligent, insightful. Not that it matters to me one way or the other, but he's a good-looking guy on top of all that. The problem Tim Scott has is that he's black. Tim Scott, in his rebuttal, went down the line, checking off all the reasons why we should know America is not a racist country. He laid it all out, pardon the pun, in black and white. The Democrats now are savaging Tim Scott. They have called this guy every name in the book. They have impugned his character. They have questioned his thought processes. They have denigrated his family name and gone out of their way to just be downright ugly about the whole thing. All because a man only chose to speak his heart. Understanding, Tim Scott grew up in rural South Carolina. One-bedroom home, whole family. So, as you might imagine, if there's anybody in the entire state of South Carolina who's seen racism, particularly a guy who has ascended all the way up to the United States Senate, it would be Tim Scott. Enter the buffoonish one himself, Jimmy Kimmel. Jimmy Kimmel joining the chorus of liberals / progressives / Democrats in going off on Tim Scott. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, the same Jimmy Kimmel who last year had to grovel and beg for forgiveness for his skits of Karl Malone done in blackface and the accompanying ebonics. So let me get this straight. Here's a guy that thought it was okay to do skits in blackface and use ebonics. And you, with your racist tendencies, you're gonna preach to a black guy who grew up in rural South Carolina about racism. Of course, now, in hindsight, now that I think about it, maybe you are the best person to tell us what true racism is because you engaged in it. Maybe, just maybe, little Jimmy, you're the most qualified individual out there because I'm pretty darn sure you know racism when you see it because you perpetrated it. And now, less than a year later, old Jimmy is back, piling on. With all due respect, Jimmy, I don't need you to tell me who the boogeyman is. I already know. And he looks a lot like you. With all due respect, Jimmy Kimmel, I don't need you to educate me, a black man, about the failings in this country. And I sure as hell don't need you, Jimmy Kimmel, to push an agenda and overlook all the great things that this country has to offer. But you know, there's a rule in advertising, and I'll paraphrase it. It doesn't matter if they're saying something good about you or something bad about you, as long as they're talking about you. See, for folks like Jimmy Kimmel, who want desperately, more than anything else, to remain relevant, they have forsaken the process of something coming up, think about it, think about it, think about it some more, and then let it come out. of all the people on this guy's staff, not to mention Jimmy Kimmel himself, had that been me, first thing I would have said was, say, bro, you know, not long ago we had this big old kerfuffle about you and blackface, you and Ebonics. You might want to sit this one out, Jimmy. You might just want to sit this one out. Let all these other clowns do what they're going to do. But you need to sit down and shut up on this one, son. But no, not Jimmy Kimmel. But see, that's what they think about you. That's exactly what they think about you. Either Jimmy and or his writing staff said, well, yeah, we might need to be cognizant of that, but they're so stupid they won't remember or they won't catch it. I mean, after all, we all know Americans have the attention span of a gnat. You ever watch a gnat in the kitchen? You mess around and let one get in the house, and they'll flitter around over here and they'll land on something and stay there for a couple of seconds. Next thing you know, bzzz, they're all flittering around someplace else. They land on something else. Next thing you know, bzzz, they're all flying against something else. That's what we as Americans, that's our attention span. So in hindsight, I guess I can't really blame the guy all that much. But when you have what I call the BPE factor in play, stands for based on past experience, sometimes it's just better off to keep your mouth shut. What did the old folk tell us? It is often better to be thought a fool and keep one's mouth shut than it is to open it and remove all doubt. You would think of all the people out there that would have learned by now, it would be Jimmy Kimmel. But no. Black folk, if you still watching Jimmy Kimmel, you a fool. And you being played like a fool. I'm going to say it again, just so you know I mean it. Black folk, if you still watch Jimmy Kimmel, you a fool. And you being played like one. Mr. Blackface and Ebonics is now going to preach to me about racism? Bruh, really? Really, dude? You can't make this kind of stuff up. But you know, when they come out of the woodwork, Hollywood, when they come out of every nook and cranny in the political crevices of America, progressives, liberals, Dems, when they come out with the pitchforks and the torches like they're coming out against Tim Scott, that's when you know you're doing something right. That's when you know, Tim, keep doing what you're doing, brother. That's when you know you're doing something right. And Jimmy Kimmel, I guess, you know, the slickster that he is, says, I see the Republicans got every member of the Republican delegation to come out and do the talking points as if there's only one black senator in the entire GOP. You know how many Democrat senators there are? 2. Now, if you're a stickler, you can say, well, they got twice as many as the Republicans. Yeah, but at the end of the day, it's still just 2. 1 more than the GOP. Be interesting to see. Of course, this is rhetorical because we already know Cory Booker. We already know what they think about Tim Scott. How dare you be a black man and speak your mind and think for yourself. Don't you know we're your friend? As long as you vote the way we tell you to vote, as long as you think the way we want you to think, and as long as you talk bad about the people we tell you to talk bad about, then everything will be hunky-dory. God bless you, Tim. Hang in there, brother. Keep fighting the good fight. And if God blesses you to get up every day, go swing at him again. That, my friends, is the real American way. Final break of today's show. We'll get her done, come back, put that big old pretty bow on this puppy, and wrap up today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show, only on the Pelican. Stay close.
Hi, I'm Bobby Yarborough with MANDA Fine Meats. Here at MANDA, we know what the folks of South Louisiana love. They love great flavored smoked sausage, delicious deli meats, and specialty items like boudin and andouille sausage. MANDA Fine Meats has been providing these products since 1947. We produce them right here in Baton Rouge, so you know you're always getting the freshest product at your local grocery store. MANDA Fine Meats. Taste the fresh local flavor in everything we make. Make it MANDA every time.
From appetizers, pasta dishes, and entrees, La CONTEA takes pride in preparing all the Italian cuisine we know you love. Enjoy live music every Thursday through Saturday from 6 to 9, happy hour weekdays from 3 to 6, and brunch on Sundays from 11 to 2, as well as dinner portion-sized lunch specials for under $10. Visit our website to view our menu and book a party or meeting in our large banquet room. Once you try La CONTEA, your Italian dining will change forever.
The selection is deep, and the time to get a used car is right now from the Team Automotive Group. Shop and save on over 125 certified vehicles and choose from more than 700 pre-owned vehicles at any of our Team locations. Or log on anytime at teamautouse.com.
No one can stop me when I taste the feeling. Nothing could ever bring me down. Nothing could ever bring me down. Taste the feeling.
Sometimes life is wonderful, and sometimes it's not. Cherish the good, but always be prepared for life's challenges. At Private Healthcare, we provide the peace of mind you deserve. With Private Healthcare, you'll get the coverage you want and healthcare you need. If your employer doesn't supply healthcare coverage and you don't qualify for Medicare or Medicaid, you need to give us a call right now. Private Healthcare is private health insurance for ages 65 and under with medical, dental, vision, and even prescription coverage. When life comes at you unexpectedly, you need to be ready, and health insurance is your financial safety net. Health insurance has never been so easy and affordable. If you're looking for health coverage at the best price and your annual household income is $35,000 or more, call the number on the screen now and speak with a live healthcare consultant. Don't wait. Get the coverage you need now.
Welcome back for the final segment of today's edition of the Clarence Bugg Show. By the way, in case you are not aware, you probably figured it out this morning if you've not already done so. The Exiles will be in live and living color immediately after yours truly. I do believe my dear friend Bill Profita will be flying solo today. Not a problem. He's got enough flight experience. He can navigate, pilot, co-pilot, even serve the drinks too while he's flying the plane. So not a big deal. He's got that covered. I would consider it a personal favor if you were to make it a point to stick around for that. Also, for those of you that have already purchased tickets for Thursday's prayer breakfast, the mayor's prayer breakfast in Denham, I am so looking forward to seeing you guys and girls there. My friend Gerard Landry, the mayor, really great guy, extended an invitation for me to be the guest speaker for the prayer breakfast. So I am totally stoked, geeked up, whatever you want to call it, in anticipation of getting up that time of morning. No, I'm just kidding with you, Gerard. I'm just kidding. When good people call and ask if you will do something, you don't think twice about it. I mean, after it's coming from a good person. It's not like it's Marty asking me to come do it. You know, that'd be a different story altogether. When Gerard calls and says, hey, bud, I need a favor. Hey, man, name it. Just tell me. And I am so looking forward to that. He is one of these people, our relationship started out of necessity. 2016's horrific flood. And obviously he had a constituency that he had to look out for. With yours truly in media, my job was the dissemination of pertinent information to the constituents that were affected. So we were brought together out of necessity. But you know how when you meet someone for the first time, you go, kind of like old boy. I kind of like that fella. He's good people. When you get that gut feeling and you've been around as long as I've been around, don't let the Just for Men 5-minute hair color fool you, y'all. I done been around the block or two in my time. When you get that feeling, you pay attention to it. So when he called, I very quickly said, oh yeah, I'm there, buddy. I'm there. So for those of you that already have your tickets, I do believe it's a sellout. You can probably call the mayor's office in Denham and find out. If not, snatch them up and let's break some bread and have some good fellowship on Thursday morning. Oh, speaking of breaking bread, tomorrow, Cinco de Mayo. And of course, in case you don't know, we now shoot the show live at 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Bayou Smokehouse, the home of, I'm going to do my inner Joe Namath, old school barbecue. Tomorrow, it's, get this, pure marketing genius, by the way, Cinco de Bayou, or Cinco de Bayou, depending on what part of South Louisiana you're from. Every other day, the folks at Bayou Smokehouse use pecan. Those of us that are purists, pit masters, grill masters, whatever, most of us are pecan users. And of course, the deeper you delve into barbecue, the more you come to realize real quickly, any fruit-bearing tree gives you a sweet smoke. Cherry, apple, so on and so forth. But on Cinco de Bayou, we're talking mesquite. So it's a little more robust smoke. And of course, they'll be featuring a lot of Mexican themed items, quesadillas and so on and so forth. So if you're looking for Mexican with the Louisiana Bayou kick and twist to it, you gotta come by tomorrow. It is really gonna be a blast. And I was talking with Finn, the head chef that runs the kitchen, does all the meats and everything. And I asked him, I said, any concerns about using that mesquite? Because you know, mesquite burns a lot hotter than a lot of other woods. And he just immediately started going down the checklist of things. I'm like, okay, you got it, bro. Forgive me. Don't cut my head off. I see you know what you're talking about. Good people, y'all. Really good people, outstanding food, and believe it or not, the trifecta. Good service on top of all that. And I know a lot of you all, because of recent memory, through no fault of your own, you've come to accept the 2 out of 3 scenario. You've got great food, great people, good service. Most of you, if you get just 2 of them, oh, I'm a happy camper. Honey, that food was so good. Yeah, but the service sucked. Yeah, but the food was great. It was worth it. Most of us have gotten to the point now where if we get 2 out of 3, that's all we can ask for. And you thought baseball was the only game predicated on failure. You realize you can go to bat in baseball 10 times, fail to get a hit 7 out of 10 times, and that'll put you in the Hall of Fame. It is the only game predicated on failure. When it comes to you eating and, more important, spending your hard-earned money, don't you deserve to get all 3? Of course you do. 10655 Coursey Boulevard. Come on out tomorrow and join us for Cinco de Mayo. It's going to be a blast. It will be an absolute blast. And Finn has assured me he's got some surprises that you probably won't be expecting. He's in the back tweaking them, fine-tuning them, the whole 9. Either way, come on out tomorrow. Take advantage of it. And don't forget, guys and girls, inclement weather this afternoon will be the order of the day. If you are so fortunate as to dodge it, count your blessings. Check on our elderly friends and neighbors. Be sure that they're taken care of. And let's ride this puppy on out all the way to the end. Now, that being said, I got you, Marty. 4 seconds ahead, brother. My time's up, and I got to go. But this day, maybe more so than any other day, I give it to you. You're right. America, we are in no way, shape, or form perfect. But for this old boy's money, it's the best there is. And God knows there is no place else on his green earth that I'd rather be. Speaking of the good Lord, you realize he loves you, right? And I hope you know that I do too. And again, ain't a doggone thing you could do about either one. See you tomorrow.